Okay, March 6th. In 1857, the Supreme Court ruled in the landmark Dred Scott versus Sandford case. Dred Scott had been born a slave in Virginia, but through multiple owners, one of his owners moved him into Wisconsin. Well, Wisconsin was a free state, and Dred Scott was allowed to marry a woman. Well, if he was a slave, he wouldn't have been allowed to marry because the law wouldn't recognize marriage. So he was married. They moved several other times. He changed owners several other times, and a couple of times attempted to sue for his freedom, claiming that by moving him to a free state where slavery was illegal, that therefore he couldn't be a slave. The case ultimately went to the Supreme Court, and Roger Taney, writing in the majority, was a 7-2 decision against Dred Scott's freedom. Roger Taney wrote that basically framers of the Constitution believed that the African Americans, the slaves, were an inferior race and therefore did not get the same freedoms and rights that American citizens got. So that was what Roger Taney wrote. So James Buchanan, president at the time, hoped that this would just settle the case. He was not necessarily pro-slavery, but he just believed that the South should be able to do it. It's a states' rights thing. The South should be able to keep their slaves, and the federal government had no place in it. This case is one of the things that helped propel Abraham Lincoln to the presidency in 1860. So today, in 1857, the Dred Scott decision is handed down by the Supreme Court. That's what I have for today. I will see you tomorrow.